Does this sound familiar? You want to create, you think about creating, but when you finally sit down, nothing. You stare at the blank page and feel nothing. Or everything feels heavy. When you're not creating the way you want, the first step isn't motivation. It's understanding whether you're blocked or burned out. Because each one needs something completely different. Hello and welcome. I'm Janet, architect turned creative renewal coach and watercolor artist. At Blueprint to Brushstrokes, I help mid and late career creatives return to their practice gently, with compassion, curiosity, and tiny rituals that meet you exactly where you are. Before we dive in, if your creativity feels tender or fragile right now, my Creative Confidence Reflection Guide is a soft, grounding place to begin. It's free and it helps you understand your current creative season with clarity and care. You'll find the link for this gift below. Today, we're exploring one of the most misunderstood parts of the creative process, the difference between creative burnout and creative block. I know from personal experience, having had both, the two experiences feel similar but have different underlying causes and need very different kinds of support to overcome. Before we talk through the differences, let's begin with a tiny creative check-in. Grab your sketchbook or your journal and open to a fresh spread. Divide the left-hand page into two simple columns. On the left, write resistance. And on the right column, write exhaustion. We'll come back to these in a moment. This gentle structure will help you understand not just what's happening, but what you'll need to help reconnect with your creativity. First, let's get an understanding of what creative block is. Creative block is a form of mental and emotional resistance, a tightening, a hesitancy, a protective pause. With a block, you often have ideas but can't start. You feel tension or fear when you're looking at the page. You freeze because you want the results to be good. Your inner voice might be saying, what if this isn't good enough? What if I mess up? Why bother starting if it won't turn out well? Creative blocks usually arise from perfectionism, fear of judgment or visibility, self-doubt or comparison, putting pressure on early attempts, or overthinking the outcome. These blocks aren't about ability. They're rooted in fear and protection, not incapacity. A block is your creative mind saying, I'm afraid. I need safety, play, and permission to make a mess. It's not a lack of ability. It's an internal snag in the creative flow, one that softens through experimentation, curiosity, and tiny imperfect starts. Now let's explore what resistance looks like for you. On the left side of your page, under resistance, write down your feelings of fear related to your creative practice and art. What blocks show up for you? For example, fear of starting, the pressures to be perfect, comparing yourself, worrying it won't be good enough, avoiding the page. Maybe you have feelings like anxiety, butterflies, nervous, or you hear negative self-talk. Don't analyze, just list whatever surfaces. Now, let's have an understanding of what creative burnout might feel like. Creative burnout is something very different. It is emotional and energetic depletion, a deep tiredness of the creative nervous system. Creative burnout feels like wanting to create, but feeling empty. Numbness or disconnection, low energy, difficulty making even small decisions, and your body saying, please slow down. You might feel mentally foggy, easily overwhelmed. Your creativity just feels flat. You're tired or mentally drained. You might even be unable to even access your imagination. Burnout doesn't come from resistance. It comes from overdoing and stress. Long stretches of giving, producing, caring, thinking, planning, or just holding too much without taking time for recovery. It's shaped by things like big life transitions, chronic stress or emotional load, too many responsibilities, perfectionism or pressure to perform, constantly creating without receiving or resting, caring for others while neglecting your own needs. Burnout isn't a personal failure. It's your system trying to protect you. It's saying, I need rest. I need space. I need softness and repair. Now let's explore what exhaustion and burnout might look like for you. Looking at the right column on your page under exhaustion, write down what expresses your feelings of exhaustion and burnout and what you think might cause it for you. For example, emotional drains, life stressors, physical fatigue, transitions, caregiving without taking care of myself, pressure, chronic overwhelm. These are clues that your creative system isn't blocked, it's tired. And here's the key insight. Understanding the difference between creative block and creative burnout is crucial because blocks and burnout need completely different emotional medicine. If you try to fix burnout with discipline or productivity, you'll just sink deeper. But if you try to fix a block with rest alone, you're likely to still stay stuck. So, how do you know which one you're in? Now that you've named what's living in both columns for you, take a moment to pause. Look at the words on your page, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Set a timer for 5 minutes and write freely about what you see and feel. What patterns are appearing for you? What feelings repeat? What words carry the most weight in your body? When you're done, gently circle the words or phrases that feel the most true for you today. Maybe you see repeating references to feelings of fear, pressure, or hesitation. Or maybe you see repeated references to exhaustion, overwhelm, or responsibilities that have stretched you too thin. Now let those circled words guide you to these deeper questions. What is the real experience underneath this? And then, does this feel more like resistance or exhaustion? Your body will often recognize the answer before your mind puts language around it. So now that you have an idea of which you might be struggling with, what to do next? If it's creative block, give yourself permission to play, experiment, and have messy beginnings. Like 2-minute doodles, blind contour sketches, painting with your non-dominant hand, color mixing with no goals, tiny, imperfect starts. These help loosen the grip of fear. Remember, creativity thrives in imperfection. But if it feels more like creative burnout for you, you need to focus on care, nourishment, and slowness. Taking time for rest, taking time in nature, gentle movement, calming routines, low stakes, low pressure creativity. reducing your inputs, using supportive journaling. Try letting go of something that is weighing you down, if you can, even if it is something small. This helps rebuild your capacity. Both of these paths are creative. They're just supporting different needs. Now, let's take a grounding moment together before we close. If you'd like, put both your feet on the floor. Feel the floor beneath you. Place your hand gently over your page or your heart if that feels more natural. Take a slow, gentle inhale. Hold for a soft beat and gently exhale. Take a moment now to acknowledge yourself for pausing to notice what's true today, for listening to your creative voice, even if it just feels like a whisper right now, for rebuilding trust with your creativity in this small, honest way. Awareness is part of creative healing. Wherever you are, blocked or burned out, you're not alone. Your creative system is wise. It speaks through resistance. It speaks through fatigue. And it's always rooting for you. Let this awareness guide you back to a more compassionate creative practice. If this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to explore the next one for more inspiration. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe for gentle creative renewal, emotional insight, and supportive conversations about living a meaningful creative life. If you'd like deeper support and community, you're welcome to visit blueprinttobrushstrokes.ca to explore my offerings there. Until next time, may your day be filled with discernment, softness, and the courage to listen to what your creative season is asking for.